Hey guys. Well, yesterday we finished Pikmin, so do you want to know what we're gonna do today? Play Pikmin 2. Yeah, we'll be like starting from scratch this time. Because, no offense to Josh, I love the kid. Yes, it is. I love the kid, but I want to get a fresh playthrough in. I love that noise. Look who crushed it. Welcome to Pikmin 2, everyone. The sequel to Pikmin 1. Oh, I love how you can see like the sides of the Pikmin. It's like a 3D effect. Yep, that's a question we will ask for ages. Where is Pikmin? If Pikmin is so good, where is Pikmin 2? Of course you can. By the way, yeah, the chat wasn't like showing up on very well on stream, so if I miss any of your messages, don't blame it on me. Okay, let's play Pikmin 2, guys. Hockatate Freight is a long-haul, deep space shipping company. One day, its only employee of any merit, Captain Olimar, that's me, crashed on an uncharted planet while on an interstellar vacation. There, he was aided by indigenous creatures, which he called Pikmin. In the end, Captain Olimar escaped. But in Olimar's absence, his employer, Hockaday Freight, ran into financial difficulties. Yes, libertarians. I mostly wanted to restart so I can do my Louie voice. Captain Olimar. That's me. Planet Hockatate. That's where I live. Hockatate Freight. That's where I work. Home sweet home. President of Hockatate Freight and local employee, Louie. Olimar, I'm so glad you're safe. Yes, very glad, quite glad. But, sadly, I have an announcement that's not so glad. Our company's going under. Yes, we're finished. On his first mission, Louie here met a ravenous space bunny. And his entire load of Golden Pick brand's carrots was eaten. I took out an enormous loan to repay the debt from this loss. I decided to sell off corporate assets to repay the loan. But the only asset we had to sell was your ship, the SS Dolphin. As for the rest of our loan... Yep, 10,000 Pocos. We have no means to repay it. Get ready for the Louie voice. Olimar, what is that? You brought the bag of the souvenir for your kid? Treasure, 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 money, 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 money. Initiating valuation of recovered treasure. This artifact is worth 100 pocos. This thing's worth 100 pocos? That's more than a year's salary. What? There are more on that planet? They can repay our debt. Louis! Louis, you do it. You must depart. Louis, you do it. You must depart immediately with Captain Olimar. Yep, thanks for the follow. Yes, it's the one with the product placement, and I think it's going to be my favorite one to play. Because it has all the treasures. Yeah, I'm starting up Pikmin 2 for the first time. I finished Pikmin 1 yesterday. And now we're doing it again. Wii controls? Yeah, I mean, I'm playing this on my boyfriend's Wii U. They just need to remake this for the Switch with 3's control scheme because it's so much better. That was close. I have averted a crash landing. Running diagnostics. Alert, danger, Louis is missing. I think that's a good thing, because we don't want to see Louis. He must have somehow fallen out of his cockpit, like he usually does. He is not responding via his communicator. He is either flouting protocol or in danger. Oh yeah, also see this. Got a little Pikmin. Olimar, you must find Louis before he freezes to death in the cold of this planet. What if I don't want to find Louis? No one likes him. Wait a moment, look. Could these be Pikmin? They look like they are about to be devoured as we speak. Yeah, they were truly beating it. You must help them. Point at the screen and press B to call them with your whistle. Yes, Mom. You can also hold B to make the sound of your whistle carry farther. Remember. Hey, dude. What's up? How you been doing? The Pikmin ran to your side. They seem to remember you, Captain Olimar. How fascinating. Give them instructions and do not delay. Hold A to grab a Pikmin, then point at the screen and release to throw it. Bonk. Attention, Captain Olimar. I have just re-established my communications link with Louis. It is fortunate we have managed to confirm his safety. Press minus to communicate with him. Well, I don't want to communicate with him. I am quite interested in the details of his condition. Get ready. Everyone's favorite sound effect is about to play. 1, 2, 3. Yep! Louis, allow me to assess your condition. As per our safety protocols, are you at all injured? Is that so? Then my concerns are eased. Our communication link shows you are nearby. Can you make your way to our location and rejoin us? I will navigate for you. Press plus to contact me and obtain information about the terrain. I love how there's that little mark from when he fell. This game is just something else. Louis, the odd object before you appears to be one of the onions mentioned in Olimar's report. Cam! I had to. The seed the onion ejected just sprouted. According to Olimar's report, it can be plucked with A. Red Pikmin. Hi! Louis, this must be one of the Pikmin creatures from Olimar's report. It is staring at you. Yeah, it is. You can press down on the control pad to issue objective to your Pikmin squad and direct their movement. You can disband your squad with the C button. Interesting. Olimar's description of the creatures resembling pick carrots was strikingly accurate. Louis, my sensors have detected drool in the corner of your mouth. Are you alright? Louis gonna eat the Pikmin. Yeah, Louie's gonna eat the Pikmin. The onion ejected more seeds. The pellet from that flower must hold nutrients that breed Pikmin. Yes, these Pikmin gather nutrients, haul them to the onion, and further propagate the species. Give me 1 second. Won't be long. Done. The onion is a Pikmin mothership. Reviewing Olimar's report, it seems repeatedly tapping the A button lets one rapidly puff Pikmin sprouts. Yeah, I have a really bad angle on the thing. Oh wait, this is where we came in. You can tell by the Louis print. Perhaps this object is one of the treasures that we are searching for. The only reason we found it here is because this is where you crash landed. How fortunate. I would like to appraise it, but you must regroup with Olimar first. Can you see him? Press the Z button to move the camera behind you. You can also press left or right on the control pad to zoom in up on the control pad to change angles. Let's reunite with Olimar then. Captain Olimar, Louis, you are reunited at last. There has been a troublesome start to our trip. But now you must feel assured that your combined wits can get you through anything, correct? From now on, use the B button to form a single group, C to take solo action, and minus to change leaders. Okay. This shipment gets back, we can dig it out. We have exactly 20, which is perfect. So yeah, our thing is getting delivered. How's everyone doing today? I hope very good. I had a bit of a rough start to the day, but it ended well. Well, the day's not over yet, it's 2. It's going better. sorry that all you can see were my legs. Courage reactor, value 280 Pocos, total 280 Pocos out of 10,000 Pocos. Our first day of exploration has yielded our first treasure. We will be done in record time. I took the liberty of naming it when I appraised it. The name reflects my current thinking. Yes, I've got nice legs. Leave it to me to think up catchy names for hit products. It is but one of my many talents. We shall end our first day here and report back to our president. His face will surely be joyous. However, to communicate with Hawkatate, we must fly into low orbit above the planet. We will not return to the surface until morning, so as to avoid the indigenous nocturnal creatures. Yep, doing this voice is getting annoying. Or should I say, doing this voice is getting annoying. And the song is just as good. You got mail. You found your first bit of treasure. Fine work. Our future depends on your efforts, so check your treasure hoard regularly. I'll check in often. Keep up the pace. Thank you, Mr. President. Dwarf red bulbworm, Pinsaurus sidoculi russus, breadbug family. Although initially identified as a juvenile red bulbworm, groundbreaking new research indicates that this creature is in fact a member of the breadbug family, a close relative of the vanilla breadbug. It escapes predation through mimicry. Unique adaptation of the red bulbworm's crimson coloration allows the species to safely commingle. Such effective adaptation and obfuscation by a prey species is rare, indicating this clever creature is a master of mimicry. Pellet Posy, Amplus nutrio, pelletweed family. In the stem of the pellet posy, one can observe the muscle fiber unique to half plant, half animal species such as the Pikmin and candy pop flowers. So the pellet posy is a species that can be considered a close relative. Although the ability to crystallize nectar is unique to a small group of the pelletweed family, the fact that these plants reach maturity so quickly and that their pellets contain such high concentrations of the natural nutrients in the soil explains why the Pikmin and so many of the other indigenous species are so reliant on these pellets for sustenance. We recovered our first treasure. Amazingly, the Pikmin remembered how to salvage it. I can't understand their adorable language and I don't know what they're thinking, yet I am so happy to see them. When I crashed on this planet, the Pikmin helped me locate my missing ship parts. In my darkest hour, the Pikmin were there for me. Now that I'm reunited with them, I know everything will be alright. It will, right? Sorry about that. Let's get some... Stuff's changed. Good morning, workers. Ready for another day of toiling for the profit of your company. The Pikmin seem to still be asleep inside their onion. What lazy creatures. No wonder they lack survival skills. Stand beneath the onion and press A to call them out. I already see a marked improvement in the Pikmin AI from the original Pikmin. Hey, Dad. Dad? Hello? Are you there? Is your phone working? Yeah, I know. Oh, did she commit tax fraud? Just kidding, tax fraud is based. I can't wait. Yep, that was a lot of Pikmin. Eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Okay, we need to wait for these guys and pluck them. For those who don't know, because of a meme, like the CPR Reese's Puffs Misery meme, which put Ash as the Reese's Puffs, we now refer to Ash as just Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. Look at the Pikmin just humping away. You're doing amazing, sweeties. There'd my Pikmin go. Got another treasure. Other scrap, value 170 Pokos. How could Pikmin destroy such a massive wall when their might is ferocious? Louie, did Olimar instruct you on proper Pikmin commanding protocol? Apparently not. Olimar, you are failing in your duty as a superior, and allow me to explain. Press A to grab Pikmin and release to throw them. Call them into a group with the B button. Press C to disband the group, point at the screen, and press down on the control pad to issue orders. Press down on the control pad to swarm Pikmin on treasures and enemies, or make them march in a line. Okay. We won't be going through this. Oh, what's this? Interesting. Warm air is welling up from the hole in the ground before you. What could lie underground? What is wrong? You both show expressions of unease. Do not fear, the leader's group of Pikmin will join you. I shall dispatch my research pod too. Approach this hole and press A to jump in. Well, let's do this. Intriguing. My heat sensors indicate that this hole's interior is warmer than on the surface. Analysis suggests danger lies ahead, but the promise of treasure is tantalizing. If you wish to check underground terrain, press plus to communicate with me. I am not just a ship, I am an all-purpose support pod. This hole appears to be quite deep. My sensors indicate more treacherous terrain ahead. Louis, you do recall that you can adjust the camera with the Z button up, left, and right on the control pad, correct? Your expression suggests that you do. Excellent. Don't worry, all your Pikmin will follow you. Approach the hole and press the A button to enter it. How can you possibly consider this beast a treasure? Beasts are incompatible with my circuitry. I suppose I will store your finds in my hold. But I do not think beasts will be worth much. Quenching emblem, value 100 Pokos. Name, Citrus Lump, value 180 Pokos. Let's go deeper. Yep, this is the final floor. It's inconceivable that such an immense object has been buried here for so long. The design on the outer shell resembles the surface of the planet as seen from space. Perhaps this can be used for something other than salvage. But how will we ever lift it? I fear that even 100 red Pikmin will be unable to lift it. Yeah, because it's exactly 101. So yeah, 100.
I think the smell will be much better in this room.
Oh, you do a good voice of the SS Dolphin.
I do lots of good voices. I'm good for something.
Yes, you are. I love you, Mom.
I love you,
I'm sorry, that was a little cheesy, but yeah, my mom's great. And here they come. Astounding, a flower blooms in a cave deep beneath the snowy landscape. Clearly, it is warmer down here than above. Look, the Pikmin are restless. They look as if they yearn to be tossed into the flower. Let's eat these bad boys. Purple Pikmin. I love it. It's just so derpy. Look at him. Look at these. These are your people. Amazing. A purple Pikmin. It has hair and it's quite stocky. It seems very heavy and strong. This kind of Pikmin was not mentioned in your report, Olimar. It must be an entirely new type. Transforming Pikmin by tossing them into flowers. Intriguing. Perhaps there are others. Yeah, purple Pikmin are great. It's a shame they got the shaft so badly in Pikmin 3. Why did I just forget that Pikmin 3 existed? Name, Spherical Atlas, value 200 Pokos. There is a device resembling a microchip inside the sphere, retrieving data. Error, I could only decode a portion of the data, but I did retrieve new geographic charts. I will input this data into my planetary database and name it the sphere chart. Press plus to contact me and go to the exploration kit on the radar screen by pressing left on the control pad. Now that we have this new data, you should explore the decoded territory tomorrow. I love how the Pikmin sing along. Astounding! Water is shooting out of this geyser with incredible force. Sensors indicate it has enough power to launch you into the air. Approach it and press A to try. Yeah, so one of Angie's classmates at CIA died. So Eddie's gonna, Angie's gonna have a little tribute to her. You have successfully returned to the planet's surface. Excellent decision making, gentlemen. We must celebrate your first successful spelunking expedition. You've gathered a large amount of data that needs in-depth analysis. I shall send a report back to the President tonight detailing your progress. Olimar and Louis, since you will explore a new area tomorrow, today's work is done. What? You still want to work? Unacceptable. You may not realize it, but you are exhausted. Capitalism, everyone. You should take a much-needed rest as you have all the time you need to collect treasure. Yeah, because like, there's no time limit here. And it makes sense. This was a planned expedition. In the original Pikmin, you crash landed. In this, you are here for a reason. Collect treasure. Haste makes waste, so take it slow and steady. Like, they're basically just roasting the original Pikmin here. We're getting there. There's all the Pikmin that went to Pikmin Hollow. You've got mail. Baby steps first, Olimar. Plan well and don't worry about me. Our debt is with Happahakate Savings and Loan after all. Besides, there's nothing left to repossess, so ha! Red bulborb, Oculus Kageyami rossus, grub dog family. This large organism has the familiar mandibles and cranial morphology of the grub dog family, as well as the characteristic bulging eyes. As with most grub dogs, the creature's cranium comprises half of its total length and girth. Haha, he said girth. Showing a scarlet abdomen with white spots, this creature is primarily nocturnal, choosing to prey upon smaller creatures returning to their nests. Originally classified as the spotty bulborb, Furture Research has reclassified the species as the red bulborb. Subspecies of various colors have recently been discovered, but academics are divided into two rival camps over how to handle their classification. Snow bulborb, Pinsaris pseudoculi frosticus, redbug family. Like the dwarf red bulborb, the snow bulborb is a member of the redbug family that seeks to survive through imitating the appearance and behavior of a bulborb. Its pale coloration and blue spots make for easy identification. In particular, this organism mimics the hairy bulborb, but it is, of course, unable to grow the hair that gives the hairy bulborb its name. However, as the hairy bulborb has been known to lose its hair in certain circumstances, bulborb powdered baldness! The snow bulborb is an effective mimic that is often mistaken for a member of the same species. Clover, Quatrius infectum, clover family. This is a naturalized species. These plants are extremely persistent, and with the assistance of a symbiotic fungus that grows on its roots, the species is able to survive even in drought conditions. Typically, its leaves come in groupings of 3, but the intense impact of the leafing stem early in development cycle can result in an extremely rare 4-leaf cluster. Violet candy pop bud, Flora puniceus, candy pop family. Research from our most recent expedition had confirmed the presence of candy pop buds in subterranean regions. Considering the microecologies this plant has been found in, one could surmise that it could be found in any cavern, regardless of geographic region. Tossing Pikmin into the flower results in the release of purple Pikmin seeds, regardless of the color of the Pikmin tossed in. This variety of candy pops contains robustly odoriferous oils. If candy pop flowers could be cultivated, there is no doubt that the plant would offer multifaceted benefits to the cosmetic, medical, and tourist industries. Citrus slump. This fruit was dug up from the floor of an icy cavern. It appears that the fruit's thick skin protected it from the frigid cold. It's quite remarkable. The shape of the fruit eerily resembles the president's head. P.S. The labyrinthine underground entrails of this planet are like a completely different world. Utter scrap. The area we recently touched down in is blanketed with a fresh layer of frozen precipitation. As tranquil and relaxing as it is, I named it the Valley of Repose. Using Pikmin to move obstacles, I was able to open up some new areas to exploration, where I found this hunk of metal. The purple Pikmin were somehow able to carry this massive treasure. Today, we measured their physical strength using the ship's onboard beefometer. It seems that they have 10 times the weight and physical power of any other Pikmin. When I throw them, they land with a resounding thud. I've decided to commemorate the cave I first encountered them in by naming it Emergence Cave. quenching emblem. I often brag about my inexhaustible supply of self-control, but when I peer at this treasure, I can't help but want to take a drink. Yes, we'll be reading the Piclopedia entries. Welcome to Awakening Wood, everyone! What's in store for us today? Good morning. It should please you to know the purple Pikmin are lodged safely in my hull. The confines of my interior seem to suit them perfectly, though they do occasionally tickle me. Stand in the ring of light below me and press A to call the purple Pikmin out. Louis has Olimar instructed you on the peculiarities of the Pikmin creatures. The Pikmin form groups based on color when disbanded with the C button. Grabbing Pikmin with A will also cause them to group by color. Now for the bonus lesson. First, press and hold A to pick up a Pikmin. Then, while you hold A, press B to swap between different colored Pikmin. This is the first time you have heard this. Olimar, remember to properly train new employees. Weird seeing like the sunseed berries be 5 because the original Pikmin they were always 1. No, 3. I forgot to count today. Hi, Dad. Good, how are you? Thanks, Dad. So Sunseed berry, value 170 Pocos. We're already 10% done with the game. Well, I want to 100. I really want to 100% this. But yeah. Dad once again roasted me for always being on my computer as per usual. Olimar, we have a problem. The onion has ceased ejecting seeds. It isn't malfunctioning. Interesting, it now seems the number of life forms within the onion has increased. Didn't you note that no more than 100 Pikmin will venture out onto the planet at once? But I currently observe only 95 on the surface. Could there be wild Pikmin somewhere? They're flowered! The Pikmin that drank the yellow nectar instantly matured into flower Pikmin. It appears to have enhanced motor skills. What a wondrous nectar! How intriguing! Like plants, Pikmin mature from leaf to bud to flower. Captain Olimar, you must share the information you have with your subordinate, Louis. Yes, I will. Even though I hate Louis very much. Yeah, I think it's kind of canon that Louis and Olimar hate each other. Like, I mean, just like half of, like, at the end of Pikmin 3 in the side story, he's like, thanks to Louis and the Pikmin, mostly the Pikmin, I have been able to repair my ship. Astounding! This red berry contains an ultra spicy essence. Oh crap, it's a song from Pikmin 3. When you're analyzing stuff. It's snowing out today. It does not appear to have any monetary value, but I shall research potential uses for it. Bring me another specimen. Well, it's on its way. Captain Olimar, my research on the red berries you discovered has yielded a powerful potion. Behold the ultra spicy spray. Although it is untested, I believe it will have spectacular results. Spray it on all your Pikmin by pressing the 2 button. When necessary, I can produce 1 bottle of spray from 10 berries. Press the plus button to contact me and confirm your berry count by pressing left on the control pad. Looks like one of the... It looks like a bomb shoot from Zelda. Oh no! Oh no! That is just an other abomination as well. Like, I wasn't expecting it. It just came out of nowhere and thankfully it's dead now. I don't want to deal with that shit ever again. Okay, that's poisonous. I think we'll need white Pikmin for that. But yeah, let's just throw a red Pikmin at it. Yeah, we don't want any Pikmin dying. Not on our watch. Yeah, I don't think we have the, like, Pikmin strength to do that currently. Actually, yeah, I think going to... Now I think we can go to the to the cave. This is a yellow Pikmin thing. Oh, what are we waiting for? Biological sensors are reacting violently. The readings are ominous. A beast of unknown power lurks in these depths. A large Pikmin group would be reassuring. My sound sensors are picking up hostile words of many beasts. Expect dangerous encounters. Sensors are also showing extreme heat pockets. You may need flame-resistant Pikmin. But my records indicate no such data. Are my records incomplete? Yeah, probably. I don't think there's much left to go. Let's go in. Name, Stone of Glory, value 100 Pokos. It's time to go in to the next level, whatever it may hold. Yep, this is definitely my favorite Pikmin game. I'm not even an hour into it, and I've already decided this needs a Switch port. It's awesome. You guys have a Wii U, get Pikmin 3. Well, any of the Pikmin games. We got flowered purple Pikmin. Like this guy. Well, he's not quite flowered yet. But you know what I mean. Sucks because if I had a choice, I would have definitely sacrificed the non-flowered one. I know that's discrimination and it's illegal. I thought that was something when it was just the research pod. Get to floor 3. I'm basically gonna have my red Pikmin do most of the work here. I have an excellent eye for this sort of thing. Name, Stripes Monolith, value 150 Pokos. Since we've got time, plug up these holes. Name, Cosmic Archive, value, 230 Pocos. Okay, since all of these things are plugged up, let's get going to the next floor. It's our final floor. It's not. Name, Dream Architect, value, 280 Pocos. Ah, he's just carrying that playing card. Look at him go. Name, Look Wafer, value, 140 Pocos. Got 20% of the debt paid off now. Then this is our final floor. Oh no. Is that what we think it is? It's Empress Bulblax! Yep. We're restarting. So yeah, just bear with me for a second. Like, yeah, that was like I couldn't come back from that. Yes, it was. I'm not a person well known for my smart decisions. But you know what? Now we know what to do. Like usually, unless something really bad happens, I don't restart. In this case, it was literal near Pikmin yeah. This was near Pikmin extinction. Okay, I'm smart, okay? I'll admit it. Okay. Let's redo this thing. We did lose a lot of soldiers. But yeah, it's better than losing all of your basically all of your Pikmin. How bizarre, this device is emitting black light. It must have been ingested by that creature. What an absolutely repulsive life form. Our return to Hakotate cannot come soon enough. Honestly, I'm not gonna restart. I made a dumb decision and now I have to live with it. There's no restarting in real life. So, and yeah, we're gonna have to rebuild our forces. It's not something hard to do. Like, I mean, our purple Pikmin forces are... Yeah, red Pikmin got screwed over. Name, prototype detector. Value, 200 Pokos. This contraption seems to react when it approaches treasure. I will connect it to my radar. Processing complete. the treasure. Gauge is now fully operational. It will now appear on your monitor. The needle will move right as you approach treasure. I came in with 94, I left with 17. %, of debt recovered. Great job, boys. Yeah, I don't have enough Pikmin to, like, do that. So, now we have to look at what we can do. Olimar, Louie, the sun will be setting soon. Call all of the Pikmin to you. This planet's native nocturnal life forms are ferocious and therefore dangerous. Load your Pikmin into the onion and yourself into my hull so we can take refuge in low orbit. Pikmin in your squad will enter the onion on their own at day's end, so call them all to you. Okay, we got all our Pikmin. So yeah, we got a lot of money today. So yeah, our Pikmin numbers actually went up since yesterday. We gained, but today it's more like we just gained a crap ton of Pikmin and also lost a lot. Mail. How's progress, Olimar? Remember, you'll never get anything done if you sit back and watch from afar. Press left or right on the control pad for a close-up view of the action. Back in Fire Emblem Awakening Woods. Emblem Awakening was just what came to mind. Honestly, I'm gonna restart because... or not. I'm stupid. I forgot where I was supposed to go. Well, we did it! Astounding, my metal detectors are reacting violently. What could be down below? If you find trouble below, press plus to contact me and press right on the radar screen. The exploration pod will drop its loot to make room to carry you, Louie, and the Pikmin to safety. Yeah? Okay. Be right back, guys. What's up? I don't know. How about you? Good. How about you? Okay. No, are you? No. I ate it around 11. I think around 5:30. Wait, so you had to knock out it. The red liquid you see contains refined ultra spicy essence. 1 drop contains 1 dose. Press 2 to spray this extract on your entire group. Have you tried it yet? Oh shit, it's a white Pikmin thing. Damn. I feel kind of stupid now. But yeah, let's finish this cave then. I think it will give us white Pikmin. I have an inkling that it will. Come on, Olimar, it's time. We're gonna get white Pikmin. Okay, Louie, let's get white Pikmin. Don't do anything, don't try to eat the white Pikmin. I heard they're not very delicious. Unless you are a predator of the Pikmin. Then they are extremely delicious. Stages like this just make me anxious. I'm gonna throw Pikmin over the edge. Yes, Dad? Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Step back. I want you to enjoy it.
Ooh. Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank you. Well, my parents got me some chocolate chip cookies. For all their faults, they never forget about me. How's everything going, friends? All enjoying the stream? I'm glad. I accidentally turned on Netflix. Let's turn it off. We're not playing Netflix, we're playing Pikmin. Those cookies look great, by the way. Yeah, Pikmin's not a game that can be adapted into a series. Name, alien billboard, value, 80 Pokos. Part of me just wants to restart because of all the time I spent, like, trying to get the white Pikmin. But honestly, I made my bed, so I'll lie in it. I don't know, like, I mean, you know, the whole occupational, like, the Pikmin short films are great, but name, petrified heart, value, 100 Pokos. But, like, I'm not quite but yeah, it's, like, I mean, turning that into a full-blown show, I'm not quite sure about it. I mean, it's Pikmin related, so I would definitely love it. Just not suited for that stuff sometimes. Pepper! Name, Drought Ender, value, 100 Pokos. I'm going on basically a semi-genocide run, by the way. Where basically I try to kill everything I possibly can. But that's basically me whenever I play Pikmin. I don't want to leave a single enemy behind. And most of the time I kind of literally can't, since I will obtain tremendous losses of Pikmin. And it will probably like I need to get the corpses. It's not a treasure. Oh, Oh, candy pop buds. How can a flower so deep underground bloom so robustly? How mysterious. This place is conspicuously warm. Could it act as a kind of hothouse for foliage? What an interesting development. The Pikmin look as if they long to be tossed in the flower. So, let's do that. And white Pikmin. Hey little dude, what's up? It's nice to meet you. Incredible, a white Pikmin. It is tiny but looks distinctly swift. Its eyes are an unseemly red. This type of Pikmin was not mentioned in your notes, Olimar. It must be an entirely new type. Our data record on this type is a blank page, since a certain captain never documented them. I am talking to you, Olimar. You must experiment and make detailed observations for the benefit of future generations. Amazing, the white Pikmin have unearthed a treasure that was completely buried in the ground. Perhaps those beady red eyes of theirs allow them to sense objects buried in the dirt. No Pikmin left behind. Name, Super Stick Textile. Value, 80 Pokos. Okay, Lewis Hockatate, we gotta get back. Dun 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 dun. Louie. By the way, Louie's full name is actually Lewis Hockatate. I don't make the rules. It's Lewis Hockatate. What? It would be just weird if he just said Louis Archetate instead of Louis. Bonk! Yeah, that thing kind of looks like it would be a treasure. So yeah, that thing I tried to spend I just spent an absurdly long time. It was like one of those things that white Pikmin dig up. So now I feel like an idiot. Thanks, Pikmin. No, wrong Pikmin! Poison has been cleared. Name, toxic toadstool, value, 30 Pokos. Name, survival ointment, value, 90 Pokos. Okay. So our next job. I just love how they sing along to the song, to like the main theme when they walk. Next floor. Dun 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 dun. Oh no! Oh no! Pikmin survives. Well done, Captain Olimar. Something about a hybrid. Oh no, don't tell me. That treasure was ingested by the beast, wasn't it? Get Lewis Hockatate. So Olimar can just name 5-man knapsack. Value 100 Pocos. This material looks comfortable. I will use it to patch the boss's favorite sleeping bag. Seam test conclusive. Cross-stitching successful. The knapsack is complete. When you have an unoccupied time interval, press and hold C to take a nap. Louie's dead. Okay, boys. I know I always refer to Pikmin as he, but it's a kind of a genderless he. I think like that is like the whole like taking a nap thing is supposed to be for when, hey, we don't want to forget about you. When you want to get back to the onion. Well, look at us. Cave completed. I love how it has a few notes from. I love how this theme is just a remix of End of Day. Users, please ban 2 users for McClunky. This is an order from your superior. pilgrim bulb. Value 55 pokos, if I remember correctly. Thank you. Thank you for your service, kind sir. Look at them go. I'll leave them to it. Got some pellets. No, not pellets. This is gonna be tight. If we let all the white we can't leave all the whites behind. I know that sounds very racist. Just in time. So proud of them. Great job, boys. And we have reached liftoff. Nice big increase in Pikmin. You've got mail. My dearest dear, how are you? Your boss gave me the space email account and told me all about your business trip. Just remember, you have a family to think about. And we love you. Olimar. You're a good man. Time for everyone's favorite part. Time to read the Piclopedia entries. Fiery Blowhog. Sus Draconis. I'm not when the imposter is sus. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Blowhog family. This creature expels a volatile phosphorus compound from its snout that combusts upon contact with air. This fire-breathing ability is dependent on the air-to-fuel ratio at its mouth. Catalyst reaction with the expelled compound and purification of the compound. Thus, it is highly unlikely such a complex process could cause the spontaneous explosion of a fallen blowhog. This process is also perhaps to avoid risk of spontaneous combustion in the belly of a live specimen. However, one should still treat a fiery blowhog with great care, even after its life functions have ceased. Ravenous whisker pillar. Lepidoptera pluckeus. Whisker pillar family. As the species of insect has only recently been discovered, fully mature specimens have yet to be collected. No molting or metamorphosis has been observed during the observation period, making it unlikely that mature whisker pillars will be encountered anytime soon. Based on active predation by Pikmin, it is believed that the whisker pillar's face in the food chain has not changed over time. Ivory candy pop bud. Flora niveus. Candy pop family. Research from our most recent expedition has confirmed the presence of candy pop buds in subterranean regions. Considering the microecologies this plant has been found in, one could surmise that it could be found in any cavern, regardless of geographic regions. Tossing Pikmin into this flower always produces white Pikmin seeds, regardless of the color of Pikmin tossed in. In many cases, plants with small leaves typically have limited photosynthetic capabilities, and thus must find alternate means of obtaining nutrients, with parasitic and predatory behavior being most common. The candy pop could be considered one such example. Mittite, Metibius infiltratus, unknown family. These parasitic insects feed on eggs. Upon reaching maturity, they excrete a special pheromone that attracts females of particular species, enticing these females to swallow the Mittite's whole. Pikmin, however, seem to dislike this scent. After entering the host female's body, the Mittites lay their own eggs inside the host's eggs just prior to the host spawning. Dandelion, Taraxacum officinale, dandelion family. This perennial grows best in locations with full sun exposure. Its flowers boast countless tiny yellow petals packed together in a head. The species seems to have as many weed-like variants as petals, though more detailed research on these plants would be best be left to a botanical research specialist. You can just say your name, Bethany! Fiddlehead, Violine orchestras, Fernham family. At first glance, this plant resembles the spring used in the Swift sublight engine. Many of its most primitive characteristics remain intact, including its habit of spreading through the dispersal of spores. Empress bullbacks, Oculus matriarcha, grub dog family. Initial observations placed doubt on the capability of the grub dog family to support a strong ant or bee-like social structure, but recent studies show the family is capable of such complexity. The egg sac with the largest female grub dog within a given range swells to dramatic proportions in response to environmental changes, such as the sudden depletion of prey species. These females temporarily take on the role of pack matriarch. Also, in pack formation, it has been observed that nearly all males not involved in species reproduction undergo natural sex changes. Empress bullblacks is trans, everyone! The characteristics of such specimens are quite intriguing indeed. If Olimar can't be transphobic, neither can you. Burrowing snaglet, Chiropedis anacondae, aka also known as the guy from Smash Brothers, Snavian family. The majority of snaglet species lie in wait to ambush and capture prey, with a body type perfectly adapted to such sudden strikes. It violently attacks small surface-dwelling insects, distributed across a relatively wide range. Subspecies of snaglet suited to the varying soil conditions have emerged, making the snaglet the most geographically represented species besides the bullboard. Visually resembling the burrowing snaglet is burrowing snarrow, the range of which partially overlaps with the snaglet's range. While the two may appear similar, when pulled from the ground they can be distinguished by the presence or absence of tail and wing markings. We also need to catch up on a few. Horsetail, Equestrius vindico, horsetail family. This variety of horsetail is prevalent in regions with low nutrient content in the soil. Unlike most other plants, this particular species propagates itself through the release of spores. Margaret, Luminosus croceus, chrysanthemum family. This plant's delicate yellow flowers often inspire waves of nostalgia, giving a bittersweet feeling to any who gaze upon them. Common glowcap, Fungi luminarium, glowcap family. The light emitted from this rare mushroom is neither a reflection nor a release of stored light. It grows not only on decomposing trees, but also on soil and rocks. This mushroom's fungal filaments are capable of stabilizing and concentrating pure Hocatadium-111. It is none other than the Hocatadium-111 approaching the point of critical mass that causes the glowcap's blue luminescence. So it's all radioactivity then. That's kind of scary. Creeping chrysanthemum. Taraxcomrovinia, chrysanthemum family. Like Pikmin, the creeping chrysanthemum is a member of a group of creatures with ambulatory root structures. This creature is known as a mimic, but because it is actually a form of plant, this label is not entirely accurate. For unknown reasons, the creeping chrysanthemum's mimicry does not fool Pikmin, perhaps because they share a similar heritage. It relies on preying upon other creatures to provide sustenance, so it has no need of leaves for photosynthesis. Generally speaking, the role of plants within an ecosystem is as a producer species, and thus plants are generally found at the bottom of the food pyramid. However, on the strange planet, the line between producer plants and consumer plants is blurred. Honeywisp, Nectara fatuus. Honeywisp family. This floating life form drifts effortlessly on the winds. Upon death, its physical structure instantly collapses, and as the creature is particularly elusive and difficult to catch, no sample specimens have been acquired as of yet. If we could simply recover a live sample, research on the species would likely proceed more smoothly. Cloaking burrownit, Trilobitans reclusiva. Burrownit family. The snake-eye pattern on the species' shell is one of the most distinctive features of the burrownit family. The red pattern of the cloaking burrownit and the spikes around its mantle make it easily identifiable while still making it a representative specimen of the burrownit family. The shell on the cloaking burrownit's back also provides a frame that fixes its muscular structure in place and appears to give the creature its powerful needle-launching attack. Sheargrub, male, Hemigea mandibulosa, mandiblar family. This specimen is a male sheargrub. Having lost both legs and wings, the male burrows into the soil and waits to ambush small creatures that pass by. This beast's mandibles can be dangerous, making creatures such as Pikmin easy prey. Female sheargrub, female, Hemigea mandibulosa, mandiblar family. The males of this species are purple and black creatures with tapered mouths, while the females are lighter in color and lack an armored exoskeleton. As with most mandiblars, these creatures have regressed to the point where they have lost both legs and wings. They can be seen crawling around on the ground and are believed to feed on the vegetable extracts from the congealed fluids of expired Pikmin. Time to read the treasures. Toxic toadstool. This dubious morsel doesn't look like it would be very agreeable with my innards. However, I bet Louis would try a bite. His appetite is insatiable, and he's always cooking up tasty meals. I'm glad that on this expedition, our ship's reactor can power our life support systems indefinitely. This will give us all the time we need to thoroughly examine all of the treasure we recover. I don't care if the president wants us to hurry. I've had enough of his hassling. I think I'll move more slowly just to cause him indigestion. Pilgrim bulb. Grassy plants and meadows on this planet are carpeted with brilliantly colored flowers in bloom. When I entered the atmosphere on my descent from space, I was stunned by the vibrant sight. The other day, a group of white Pikmin under my command detected an object buried under the surface and immediately began to dig up this colossal flower bulb. Somehow, it hadn't yet sprouted into a towering flower. I plan to take it back to Hocatate and grow it there. My people will hail me as a botanical genius, and the mayor may even make me Supreme Flower Commander. Superstick textile. I have once again discovered a completely undocumented species of Pikmin. These white Pikmin can find and dig up items that are buried entirely underground. We never would have found this priceless treasure without them. Thankfully, it's the perfect stuff to patch the hole I just noticed on the ship's hull. Duct tape can fix everything, kids. Petrified heart. The vivid color of its red stone reminds me of my wife's eyes when they burn with rage. Just between you and me, I've noticed lately that she's been getting more wrinkles. Now that I think about it, I've probably caused her a lot of stress. When I return to Hockatate, I'll take her on a long vacation. Luck wafer. What a strange pattern. When I look at it, I can feel good fortune smiling down on me. If I could just buy a lottery ticket right now, I'm sure I'd win. Striped monolith. Computers view the world in ones and zeros, but my people are different. Our world isn't simply black or white, right or wrong. Everybody is different. Maybe one day the ship will understand that, and maybe one day it won't give me sass when I ask it to collect the slimy specimen. Cosmic Archive. The cave we searched today was lined with flame-spewing sprouts. The temperature in the cave was absolutely stifling. Oh, that reminds me. I completely forgot to tell Louie about red Pikmin. He's so quiet I sometimes even forget he's even there. This item I salvaged from the cave needs to be some kind of storage device, but I have no way to play back the contents. Get an emulator. Stone of Glory. This is a peculiar object. Just looking at it fills me with a powerful sense of nostalgia. Now that I think about it, the Pikmin had a curious look on their faces when they carried it. Or maybe that was just my imagination. Dream Architect. At night, I have nothing to do to keep me occupied. I've been searching for something to dull the boredom, but every time I find something I want to play with, it is broken. This object is a great example. It looks fascinating, but I can't get it to function. I guess all I have to do is write in this journal. Survival ointment. In a survival situation, the most important things are water, courage, and a first aid kit. I've got water and an endless supply of courage, but I don't have a first aid kit. Sometimes I don't have a whole lot of motivation either. Same, Olimar, same. I may be a daring explorer, but sometimes I just want to loaf around all day and sleep. Wait, what if the president reads this journal? I'd never dream of slacking on the job. Yeah. Alien billboard. There are several different patterns drawn on this object's surface. They appear to be characters or letters, but I can't make any sense of them. PSG choke? Not surprised. This is just an educated guess, but I wonder if this object is a kind of alien bulletin board? The size of the object seems about right for it. Drought Ender. Today, I delivered an impromptu lecture on the basics of wilderness survival. As Louis' superior, it's my responsibility to teach him these skills. Walking around as much as we do generates an intense thirst. This is an extreme thirst! So water becomes very important. I told Louis that we have to ration our water carefully. That's what I was thinking until I found this. I was so parched that I couldn't help myself. I drank all the water in the canteen. It tasted so good. But when I turned around, Louis gave me a cold stare. Prototype detector. Today we searched the subterranean lair swarming with carnivorous bugs. The name Hole of Beast immediately came to mind. The convenient contraption I found there has become an invaluable treasure-seeking tool. When it approaches a piece of treasure, the gadget beeps and the needle moves to the right. When all the treasure in the area has been collected, the device powers down. When we left Hockatate, I thought we'd never be able to pay off the company's debts. But thanks to this gadget, I'm feeling optimistic about the outcome of this daring mission. 5-man knapsack. I'd love to lay down in the grass, bask in the sun, and take an afternoon nap. But with all of these Pikmin following me, I can never seem to relax. I should remember to press the C button to dismiss the Pikmin, and then press and hold C, take a nap. The last time I tried it, the Pikmin picked me up while I slept and carried me away to their onion. Hold your space horses, Pikmin. I'm not a pellet or a piece of treasure. Then I woke up. Great galaxies! It was all just a dream, wasn't it? Okay, one more day. Then we'll be done. Good morning. The white Pikmin are lodged within the purple ones in my hole. The two types are sleeping well and do not quarrel. I have made them most comfortable. You can call out the white Pikmin by standing in the light beneath me and pressing A. On a separate note, be wary of overworking yourself. Taking a break can be courageous too. To retire early for the day, press plus and then press right on the control pad. Okay, so we have to go to where the white Pikmin are, plug the hole, and then we can go to the other place. Oh no! Oh no! Fascinating. This object is highly similar to the one you found in the Valley of Repose. By examining this further, I may be able to extrapolate new planetary data. And there is Lewis Hockatate once again. Death taxes the singular blue Pikmin being clutch and PSD clutch choking in Europe. I couldn't agree more. What if we feel the spicy? Safety! Astounding! The heads of the Pikmin are glowing and they seem extremely agitated. The ultra spicy spray appears to increase Pikmin speed and attack power. What a discovery! Wait, no, I didn't say. Why did I say it in Olimar's voice? It seems to increase Pikmin speed by a lot. Or something like that. Allie accidentally gave me the voice of Olimar instead of my own. Look there, wild blue Pikmin are chasing prey near the water's edge. Perhaps by observing these wild specimens, we can understand more about their true nature. I apologize, I was momentarily entranced by them. Now, back to work. We're gonna need to get yellow Pikmin at the very least. Seems like this is about to go down too. Yeah? Yes, it is. Name, geographic projection, value 200 Pokos. This hemisphere also contains a hidden microchip. I will attempt to decrypt the stored data. Decoding complete. As I surmise, this chip contains additional topographic data. The data has been inputted into my database. I shall name it the survey chart. %30 done. Yeah? 5:30. Name, chance totem. Value, 100 Pokos. No sitting around. Got shit to do. Astonishing. This purple berry contains an ultra bitter essence. It does not appear to have any monetary value, but I shall research potential uses for it. Bring me another specimen. You didn't say please. Captain Olimar, I have completed my research on the purple berries you discovered. Behold the ultra bitter spray. It's untested, but I believe it will be highly effective. Approach enemies and press 1 to spray them. When necessary, I can produce 1 bottle of spray from 10 berries. Press plus to contact me and confirm your berry count by pressing left on the control pad. Yeah, I think we've done everything that's needed to be done. Let's end this guy. I'll just read off the new treasures, then we'll end the stream. Yeah, we didn't get much, but we were able to gain some Pikmin. You got mail. Olimar, good work so far. I hereby promote you to perennial manager. Proceed to divide up work and minus to delegate more to your subordinate leader. Hope all goes smoothly. Chance totem. When I gaze at this stone, I can feel my fate being forecasted. It must know what's going to happen to me. I'm sure it sees that I'll be hailed as a brilliant visionary and brave explorer when I return to Hakatave. Geographic projection. The interior of this hemisphere contains a chip coated with charts detailing a new region. I explored this forest the last time I was here, but it's clear that it has undergone some dramatic changes. The plants and animals have also evolved significantly. I've given this forest a new name, the Awakening Wood. I must begin to form a hypothesis to explain why the forest changed so rapidly. Making it rain! So yeah, that's all for today's stream, guys. I hope all you guys enjoyed. I sure did. This might be my favorite entry in the Pikmin series, and I've only just started it. So much fun, honestly. If you have a Wii U, I highly recommend getting it before it closes, before the eShop closes down. Tomorrow, I might have a special stream planned of a game that I do not usually play. Or I might just do Pikmin again. Depends on how I feel, honestly. But yeah, I hope all you guys enjoyed. It was a ton of fun. See you later, alligators. Yes, Pikmin's always fun.